Yeah, ADMA, let's go. If you bought it on the dip, I would trim it a little bit.
I have a couple of Novembers. This is mostly play money. You'll see some more interesting trades today. So let's see. I'm trying to find the weeklies. Let's see here. Okay, these haven't traded yet because they're, virgin strike. But I think we will make them market. This portfolio is up like at least 10 or 15% for the month. Oh, wow. Look at the eBay. They had a bad quarter? They had a bad quarter or something? I didn't even notice eBay. I was too busy hanging out with Peter Thiel, Palmer Luckey, all the superstars. Yeah, I also spent time with the love of my life. That's right. Shkreli is off the market. So, SAVA, we got a lot to do. We got to stack this bread. So, already trading a little bit, but mostly at the money. I want out of the monies. My girlfriend lives in San Francisco, so I'm moving there. I'm actually going to be moving there. Yeah, big news, right? Yeah, San Fran is better because of her. I think we're going to stay bi-coastal. It's going to be half and half. New wifey. I wouldn't say I quit crypto. It's just kind of a crummy space in general. Ethereum is such a good short. Okay, what's going on with the market right now? SMCI is a crazy situation. Our support for crypto is a little buggy, but yeah, wow, what a short. Should I do like a victory lap on that? I'm still a good buy for the long run. Like, if you could hold it for like a year or something like that and not pay attention to it. But the auditor situation was what we were after. You like my monopore short? That was good. Some of y'all shorted at 30. 30. Look at it. 14. Andy, you got in at 32? Chef's kiss right there. Yeah, the Tau short is, just gotta rub it in people's wounds. How did you find your wife? I met her a year ago. At a party with Grimes and Elon's kids. It was kind of love at first sight, to be honest. She's very smart. She's very, very accomplished. She's very pretty. I'm very lucky. I think we're just going to keep the prenups separate. She's got a lot of her own money. So Bitcoin has been crazy. What do you guys think? IONET price. Yeah, IONET's just been a disaster. I love it. They're not a real thing. Like, they're just not a real thing. Like, fake GPUs, fake everything. It's still 1 billion FDV, which is hilarious. How do you go about projecting revenue in your models? Maybe I should start doing that. It's just growing in size. Somebody sent me a SAVA report that was like 80 pages. They did their own. Oh man, SAVA watch season is... Yeah, the girl I found is maybe smarter than me. It's hard to tell. Definitely like around the same. Maybe a little smarter too. So I'm basically, yeah, our kid's gonna be probably pretty smart, I think. I don't think she could beat me in chess, but if she tried, I'm sure she could. She's not an investor. She's very successful too, so there's no prenups needed here. I'm still married to the game. No, don't say that. What's on the agenda today? Well, I definitely have a little bit of jet lag. Okay, so let's see if the SAVA weeklies have firmed up at all. I see the 30s are trading for near $1. Alot salam. Sell them, you buy the 29s for $1.25. You collect 25 cents. You sell the 29s and buy the 30s. You collect 30 cents on expiry. You lose 70 cents if you're wrong. So you can make 30% yield in a week. Pretty good. All right, let's see if we can do this trade. What do you guys think? What are we buying, the 30s or the 29?
Order cancelled.
Order cancelled. I kind of like Novo Nordisk. It's hard to tell. It's complicated. Hey, little baby. Where's your little baby? Yeah, I told Nibbles about wifey. She's very upset. She doesn't want to be number 2. I don't want to be number 2. Why don't we update our Lilly model? I think that would be... Yeah, we'll definitely stream the cassava call. Oh, so we're going to get the... Are we getting the first served phase 3 results? That's kind of wild. That's not a small thing. SAB CS. Anybody going? San Antonio? Big annual cancer conference? It's not as big as, you know, ASH or ASCO, but there's something about VKTX that's weird. I think it's like, should we buy it? Should we buy it? Stock looks like death. Death incarnate. I like stocks that look like death incarnate sometimes. Let's buy some. It feels like Max Payne. Okay, so we have the SAVA 30 calls. What are we gonna do with this? We're gonna short the 31s. Let's see if we can stack up this trade. The price is pretty important. We're long the 30s at 97 cents. Ideally, we sell the 31s. So let's see. We don't care as long as we sell them around. Like we can go as little as you get a free $1, right? If we buy the 30s for 94 cents and sell the 31s, well, we need to sell them for more than. So we want to sell them for like, well, we want to sell them for as much as possible, right? But it's not going to be, we're not going to get that lucky. Am I doing it right? I don't think I'm doing it right. I have to sell the...
Order cancelled.
I have to sell the 29s. Durr. I have to sell the 29s for more than I bought the 30s for. So yeah, we're trying to capture a very large weekly return, in essence. Rocked by fees? Come on. Now you're getting rocked by profits. I've never once worried about short fees, man. Okay, so our boy Viking keeps dropping. Should we buy some more? What do you guys think? It's got to be the bottom, right? This thing will be at 50 before we know it.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
Okay, so we were able to sell some 29s. Sweet. I don't know how we're going to ever be able to do this in large amounts, but we're going to try. So we have a lot going on, actually. By year end, there's NMRA results. There's SAVA. There's maybe Humacyte one day will address their regulatory situation. There's SLS, theoretically. I don't even know. Monopart, we're probably going to get rid of our short, even though it's probably going to keep going down. Make sure I have Intellia in this portfolio.
Order partially filled.
So I can
Order filled.
Share the pain with you guys. All right, let's look at Eli Lilly's thing. The AGI soon. Economics or finance? They're very different. Okay. Mounjaro, pretty big quarter. Street didn't like it. Zepbound, big quarter too. A little below my expectations, but hard to say like supply constrained or what exactly. But Mounjaro missed my number by a little bit. Again, it was a stocking quarter, so it was a little. Last quarter was a big stocking quarter. Last quarter would have been 1.6 billion for Mounjaro. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it was like very weird. Like there's never really been a drug like this. Pretty steady launch, and then kind of got out of control. So here there was a one-time benefit for rebates, so that was really like 1.9. There's usually a Q4 to Q1 sequential decline. This would have been 1.6 or like something like that. So now this, it's just such a crazy, you know, it's just such a crazy situation with wholesalers and stocking of Mounjaro. They all want it, so they're willing to pay anything. But yeah, the stocking from Q2 was very surprising. So like if you look at these numbers, right? Let's just look at a chart. So this is GLP. This is GLP growth for Lilly. So you could normalize this linearly if you wanted, right? But the stock in, stock out dynamics are very, very kind of all over the place. I think college is still very valuable. I don't think college is, because the internet exists, that you don't have to go to college. Libraries existed too. In fact, in the word college, you have the very idea of collegially working with your fellow students and professors. Jardiance had a really weird quarter. Okay, so they said Q3 revenue was negatively impacted by stocking. Oh, Monopar is really picking up. Could be good to jump back in the short. I don't know if all knowledge-based work would be obsolete. That's quite a claim. It's possible, I guess. I want to short more Monopar. I don't know if they're going to let me. Let's see. Portfolio margins is a weird thing, man.
Order partially filled.
No, I'm not done with chess. I'd love to play
Order
chess
filled.
and learn chess. I recognize you, Manfred. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh man, SAVA's starting to go up. It's running away from me. You want to see the picks? Who wants to see the list of picks? Shall we? It's on my GitHub too, by the way. Look at this list of stock picks. Beautiful. All right, we have 𝗍𝗏ation, which is a new pick. 𝗍𝗏, which I've been telling you to short every day for the last forever. I told you to avoid TNXP, and it has dropped by 20%. Yeah, I would imagine there was a Jardiance shortage. Evolution Gaming, which is at 1001, so that's up a little bit. How's HubSpot? 568, up 7%. Ooh, Lantheus. Gonna go long Lantheus real quick here. Match. Make sure we have a little bit of love for all these in this portfolio.
Order partially filled.
Manage our sizing accordingly.
Order filled.
Let's see. Biohaven. Ooh, that's a good one to buy. I'm gonna buy a little of that too. Okay, LUMN, Lumen Technologies. That is up a lot from the Meta thing. Is that what happened? Because I don't know. Maybe they had a good quarter. We'll have to look into that. ASPI. ASPI's at 7? Whew. This is like one of these promoted fraud stocks, so I don't feel bad saying avoid it because fraud stocks can go up a lot, but. All right, Pearson. Ooh, this is a good short. I want to short Pearson. eBay, Whopper. Habit Labs, Dutch Bros, Ulta Beauty. These are all pretty mundane picks, and there's Root. Holy, woo! 74% gain in Root. All these stocks are the same, by the way. Eventbrite, all these SaaS stocks are quite similar. There's Eventbrite up 26% for your face. Big disgrace. ADMA. Legend is a weird one because they have that competitor. I like it, but it's a little dangerous. mRNA. Our little Perry deep value stock is up a bit as well. Corvus, 869. Some of you are 54% on Corvus. Well, you have to adjust it for conviction. Avoid means like I'm bearish, but I can't get the timing right. I would not short it right now. Because like I don't know the stock that well. It just looks like a dog. Toast is going to be the next Root, and it's already up 12%. SAVA 2646, SLS, Clearside. What a dog! I'm so happy I told people to stay away. Hood, baby. Oh yeah, we gotta buy some Hood. Hims had a little bit of a tough week, but still up a lot on that. SoFi up a lot. Puma's got to be one of the best shorts in the market. Jazz, same thing. Good long. Baba. Freshworks, another really good long. Zoom. A lot of people are killing it on Zoom. It's probably getting close to a sell at this point, although I still like it. Team, man. Atlassian did really, really well. Dawn did well. Chegg is up a bit. Even Iova is up. Iova was stuck in the mud for a little bit. And then Tarsus. What a crazy price for Tarsus. Tarsus is up like almost double since recommended. Pretty nice results. Tarsus is getting close. Probably at like 60, it's worth selling it. Yeah, so basically the story with ASPI is basically, I think, one, ASPI has to be a short just by the name of the stock, right? But it's just like really bizarre, fraudulent, like promotional thing happening there. So in case anybody doesn't understand what I'm doing here, I'm selling a call spread. I don't think SAVA will come out in November, but just in case, you know. Who wants to bet that I run this account up to 1 million by the end of the year? I don't know if it'd be that wild. Well, you can see it says net liquidity 148. I don't post positions, I just stream them. But the recommendations sheet is on recommendations.xlsx. I haven't looked at Square too close. I have to do a deep dive. Thank you for reminding me. No, I'm not hedging. I'm selling a call spread, so I'm trying to short as much as possible. The problem is, as the price goes down, my ability to hedge drops. So it's like you're really hoping you can get some real vol. Not long AVXL. I think AVXL is a scam. Pretty sure it's a scam. Should we short it? Oh, this Viking stock is just breaking my heart. Nobody wants another GLP, huh? It'll break your heart, break your heart, break your heart, and then Pfizer will buy it out for like $30 billion, and then that's how that works. It's an emotional game. So how much pain can you withstand before you capitulate? Yeah, margin of safety. There's so much to go with this investing philosophy. There's so many ways to skin the nibbles. Klarman's funny because Klarman is really a dead guy. Okay, so you read his book, you don't get too transfixed because you do have to deal with the fact that the guy does debt for a living. And, you know, I'm not saying he's never touched equities. He's a good equity investor too, but keep that in mind. Something more up to date. Look, the reality is you can never write the perfect investment book because the marketplace is always changing. It's not like poker or any other quote unquote game. You know, in chess, for example, one of the books that is very highly recommended is called My System, from the 1920s neoclassical school of chess. And the problem with My System is it doesn't work anymore. No, it's more that like every GM has read the book, right? The problem is that I think 𝗂𝗎 once said it best, where My System teaches you. What's nice about My System is you can disagree with it. Right? The book isn't canon. You know, his ideas, it's timeless in some ways, but My System is not going to get you to modern GM status. My System is best so you can look at it and disagree with it. Especially its finer points. Obviously, you know, passed pawns are powerful. You want to fight for the center from the flanks. All that stuff is important, but that's not going to change. Some of the principles are always there, but it's less about that and more about a lot of the subtleties are wrong. What percent of your net worth do I recommend you bet on SAVA? Let's see. So this sort of cuts across a lot of different questions. One of my favorite things about investing is that you should never listen to anybody else's investment recommendations. This reminds me of a class I took in sociology, wherein the professor asked a question about primary and secondary sources of knowledge. And he said, you know, he talked about a theory that, you know, secondary sources are useless. We should only learn from primary sources. And then he stopped and he was silent for 5 minutes. And he said, does anybody have anything to say to that? And I raised my hand and I said, this is in front of 400 people in this big auditorium. It's like sociology 101 class. And I said, if secondary knowledge is useless, then why are we here? And he said, you get an A in the class. It was like the second week. I was so happy. He's like, you don't have to come to the rest of the class. You get an A, come down here after class and, you know, just give me your social and I'll give you an A and you don't have to do it. And everyone, he was like, exactly. You know, sometimes I think you guys aren't paying attention. That was a great moment in college for me. Yeah, I always bossed my professors around. Sometimes that backfired. I was a bit of a prick. I don't think we can solve aging. You know, you're dealing with a very disparate set of systems. Even though it feels like it sort of feels like our organs are all governed by the same dynamics. They really are not. You could think of each organ as its own different weird program, and it's in an operating system, maybe is a nice way to look at it. Each program is very different from each other. That's why our organs are so different, morphologically, functionally, cellularly. So you're talking about fixing 20 different organ systems. So how do you fix them all with one shot? You can't. It's just too different. They die for different reasons. Some die due to fibrosis. Some die due to buildup of a certain toxic particle. Some don't really die, they just atrophy. Some, they're really just all too different to really understand when and where does homeostasis break down and why. You got a spleen seg fault, blue screen of death in your spleen. Oh no. Biotech is funky, man. Like you can be sitting on a stock for years and it's just dead. And then finally, you know, something happens. Keep a portfolio. Fluoride is good. Fluoride in very small amounts prevents tooth decay. Fluoride is an ion that's found in many drugs and other things, so like I wouldn't get too bent out of shape over it. The best book about Bill Gates is probably called Hard Drive. Then there's Paul Allen's memoir, Idea Man, or Idea Guy, I forget what it's called. Then there's oral history, man. Go call people. Make some calls, see what happened. There's one really esoteric book. This is kind of a gem. You guys don't even deserve this. It's called Sweating Bullets. Notes about Inventing PowerPoint. This guy, Robert Gaskins. He'll even autograph it for you, I heard. You should not read this book. This is for me. This is my secret. I feel bad that I've given you some of my alpha. It's a lot of old Bill Gates stories here. An essential part of the technical and due diligence investigation will be Bill Gates' meeting with Bob Gaskins of Foresight during the week of May 18th, 1987. I'm 4 years old. Get bought by Microsoft or do an IPO. ADMA's, they got over their auditor crisis, which I predicted okay. I don't give myself a 10 on that trade because we got in a little early during the falling knife period. The falling knife gave us a little blood, but it ended up being a pretty good trade. It took 10 days instead of, it took 10 days with what, I don't know how much did you guys get, but my average is like 17. So pretty good return, like 10-ish, 10-15% return, 10 to 12% return, I'd say, in 10 days, 10 trading days. Maybe it was 10 market date, calendar days, I don't remember. But it was pretty good. You know, it was like a 7. But you also had to stay in it, you know? And that was not easy. I'm not rushing into, first of all, I'm being modest right now, okay? I don't know how many of you guys are making 12% in 10 days. Okay. And rushing into something when you know it's good, that's not rushing. That's just being smart. That's just called winning. And you're just what's called a hater. So I didn't rush into that trade. I should have bought more. I didn't rush enough. Well, I gave you Root that doubled in like a week. Tarsus, which was almost doubled. Other people's stock picks, they like have to speak to you. Like you can't just take one stock pick of mine because it's like, well, what if that's the wrong one? It's a portfolio, right?